Hi there. Here I am again, April. So last time we talked about the long-term plan, and we talked about getting unstuck and moving into film and TV is a switch for you, and that your agents are doing what they need to do. You need to help them develop a new strategy. You need to come up with a new strategy for yourself. And the first step that we talked about in our last video was to fall in love again with this business. Why did you choose it to begin with? Why do you want to become someone else? What is it you want to make other people feel? Right? What is it do you want to make yourself feel? To fall in love with acting is the first step to building a lifetime of joy in acting into your career, right? So the last time we spoke, we talked about you looking for scenes that are outside of your physical type that you just love in TV shows and films. I'd love to hear what you learned from that process. But most importantly, did you learn that what you're great at is a whole lot more than you thought? That you were limiting yourself to picking up the phone and calling about this one breakdown about this girl who shoplifts, and you just have to have it and it's an under 5. Did you learn from this exercise that you're so much bigger than the one breakdown that you've been calling your agents about 6 or 7 times? I hope so. Because why not you in those roles, right? I always think of the cast of Precious. A lot of the folks in that movie saw the breakdown and just submitted themselves. Plain and simple. Gabby, the lead, who got the Oscar nom, she never acted before. She just believed, why not? So let's talk about this idea of having enough confidence that of course you could play any of these roles, right? And I always believe dress for where you want to be, not where you are, right? And the first thing you do is sort of write down what you dream about. And doing these scenes, pulling these scenes and transcribing them, your favorite scenes of all time, irregardless of whether or not it's your type, irregardless if it's the right gender, the right age, the right race, just do you love it? I mean, you could have chosen a scene with Yoda, all right? But you love the scene, right? There's something to be learned from how much you love that scene. It means that you could play the set of emotions in that scene because they're close to your heart, because you understand the wise sage, or you understand the kid who's never going to get a break. And you can play that easily. That's what the purpose of that exercise was, to make you fall in love with what you do well, and to look at the long term of your career and how you can continue to do more of that, right? Often we focus on what we're not getting, so we miss what we have, right? And this exercise about looking at roles that you're great at, one, helps you build confidence about what you're capable of doing. Because you're going to practice those roles, and eventually you're going to send them to your agents and give them some new ideas and give them a script, which is ultimately what the Getting Unstuck, Move Your Career into Film and TV, the class that I'm going to be offering in about a week, is a step-by-step process of how you present this idea to your team, your agent, your manager, to start sending you out 3 times as much. It's totally, totally doable. I'm going to send you some testimonials from my clients, Michelle Felice Hartley, who is doing amazing work when she started paying attention to what she's good at, right? She wrote a solo show. She made a short film, which is now going to be at the Brooklyn Girls Film Festival. She signed an agent, she signed a manager, and she did that by imagining for herself what was possible, instead of letting somebody else tell her, well, you can play this and you can play that. Well, she plays the hell out of an old Jewish grandmother. I mean, she really does, and she's a black lady. But she understands her, right? And when she presented that option to her agents in a scene from her solo show, voila. They were like, wow, we can send you off so much more stuff. That's what that exercise of finding scenes that you love is about. The long-term plan of putting together a business strategy that means you will work for the life of your career and not just for the 3 things that came up during pilot season that you weren't really emotionally right for, right? Just because you're a person of color and you're about 17, well, most of those roles are gangbangers. What if you grew up in the suburbs and you don't know anything about that? Well, nowadays, they're going to go and get a rapper and cast him. What do you know? And I'll tell you, the proof is in the pudding, because there's a certain set of emotions that I understand. And I can tell you that in the last 5 years, maybe I've booked 2 things that were for a black woman in my age group. Everything else, it's been a Chinese woman. Another one was a Vietnamese man in his 60s. Another one was a late 50s, brassy blonde Shelley Winters type for the Gotham episode I recently shot. I'm none of those things, right? I'm not an Asian man in my 60s, which is the role that I booked for Blue Bloods last fall. They changed the role because I came in and I could do something, right? And I had taught my agents and managers how to reimagine me based on who I am as a person. Because really, what you have to sell as an artist is who you are inside. What you believe in, what makes you tick, what makes you smile, what makes you cry. The set of life experiences that make you passionate about acting are going to make you passionate about playing certain roles. And